We start with a disturbing story about bunnies rescued from the UVic campus. It turns out a number of the rabbits saved from being euthanized have suffered a more gruesome fate. The bunnies were living in a sanctuary in Coombs, but as Kendall Hansen reports, someone broke into the pen and brutally killed 20 of the rabbits.
They came over these set of gates because everything was locked.
The gates are standing straighter since being fixed, but Susan Vickery is pointing out where someone jumped a fence before brutally killing 20 rabbits.
I was busy trying to convince myself this wasn't a person because the violence, the degree of violence, the degree of sickness in that act was just too overwhelming for me at the time.
It happened sometime after 9:30 the night of June 14th, but before 7 a.m. the next morning. Vickery believes it was one person. Their path obvious because of the 4 bent fences the person climbed over, eventually scrambling out of the sanctuary. Most of the dead rabbits were in this barn. Andre the Goose, one of the survivors and witnesses.
I'm fairly certain that they crushed the rabbits under their boots, under large boots, because the backbones were crushed and the legs were splayed out flat.
The bunnies have lived unusual lives compared to most pets. They were either born or dropped off on the grounds of the University of Victoria. After the university got the okay to trap and euthanize the furry animals, a plan was hatched to send them to sanctuaries, and more than 600 ended up here in Coombs. Soon after arriving, some escaped and were shot by a neighbor whose property they fled to. Do you think was someone enraged over the whole debate over the rabbits?
I don't think so. I think... But how can I know that? Yeah. But that seems highly obsessive, you know, and again, that sort of points to, I would think, a lot of mental illness.
Oceanside RCMP are investigating. Vickery decided to keep the story from the media until putting 2 security camera systems in place with infrared capabilities, as well as finding a person to live just meters from the pen. It may have happened once, but Vickery is determined it won't happen again.